Hello everyone and welcome back to my bold and beautiful 29 YouTube channel. I hope you guys are having a wonderful day. Before we start, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. In Forrester's design office, Hope urges Carter to run with his vision for the company. She's sure Ridge will hear. Carter says he'll have to do further than hear. He'll have to realize his plan is a game changer. Hope loves to see him so agitated. Carter tells her how important it means to have her support. Hope tells him, "I believe in you." Carter goes on about having a big problem with Steffi not being willing to consider his ideas of hear Ivy out. Hope thinks she doesn't want her line to succeed, but Carter really cares about the company. He wants to grow it, and that's commodity that Ridge deserves to hear. Ridge is your friend. Talk to him. She's sure he'll hear. This is your moment, Carter. In the main office, Steffi tells Ridge she's seriously questioning Carter's judgment. Ridge suppositions it's because of the way he's pushing Hope's line. Steffi says the buyers are dropping it. They do and have faith in them presently. She also tells Ridge that Ivy was there. Carter wants to revamp the jewelry line to help promote Hope for the future. Ridge asks what Steffi said to the idea. Steffi replies, "I said no." At the Forrester manse, Eric greets Ivy with a clinch and chastises her for staying down so long. He turns to Electra and tells her that her forefather would be so proud of the youthful woman she's come. He hugs her. Eric asks how long they're staying. Ivy tells him she's there to reboot the jewelry line, but she doesn't suppose it'll be a possibility. Eric frowns. Why not? Ivy says, "Steffi." In a room full of gowns and shoes at Forrester, Zen tells Will that alleviation can strike at the strangest times. He shows him a sketch, as will Sensations, that he dumped a musicale for this. Zen tells Will that the modes go crazy for him and muses about showing the Hope the sketch for ideas to accessorize. Will mentions he met a girl history who said she was hoping to work on a jewelry line. Zen tells Will that Forrester doesn't have a jewelry line. Perhaps he heard wrong. Let me guess. Was she cute? Will says she caught his eye. Zen asks her name. Will smiles. Electra. At the Forrester manse, Ivy and Electra go through family print compendiums as Eric updates them that Donna's stuck in business and hopes to be there soon. Electra tells him she loves jewelry and fashion and has been following Ivy and Steffi's careers since she was little. Eric's not surprised. It's in her DNA. He's dismayed to hear that Ivy hasn't spoken to Quinn. Ivy plans to take what she tutored her and make the line and make it as successful as it formerly was. If only Steffi felt the same way. In the main office, Ridge sensations at Electra being in city with Ivy. They bandy revamping the jewelry line. Steffi feels their coffers are formerly spread thin. Ridge says the jewelry line was successful. Steffi says that was when Quinn was in charge, she was seasoned. She happens to suppose Ivy is veritably talented, and she likes the idea of bringing the line back, but it would be an adventure right now. Ridge says Carter will differ. Steffi's formerly concerned about Carter and him fighting for Hope's line. It makes her suppose commodity differently is going on. In the design office, Carter tells Hope his dreams are way bigger than Ivy and the jewelry line. He's gone to Ridge and Steffi ahead, but they would end here. Hope muses that they're threat antipathetic. Carter feels they're holding them back. Hope says, "Don't let them, Carter. He's kind and, in this case, perhaps he's being too nice. He's COO and can call a meeting." She's sure they'll see him as a leader with a strong vision for the future of the company. In the staging room, Zen tells Will he's no way heard of anyone named Electra who works there. His phone goes off and he says Steffi wants to see him in the CEO office. Zen exits and Will flashes back to running into Electra literally. At the Forrester manse, Eric loves the idea of rebooting the jewelry line and tells Ivy and Electra he'll speak to Steffi. Ivy doesn't want her to suppose they've gone over her head. Eric assures her that Steffi and Ridge have the stylish interests of Forrester at heart, however, he thinks they should hear. If Carter thinks this is a good idea, Ivy thanks Eric for his support. Electra gushes that she'd love to work with his Aunt Ivy. Eric learns they're staying at a hostel and insists they stay there. He knows how proud his family would be of the two of them, and of course they'll stay in the Forrester family home. Ivy hugs him. In main office, Steffi and Ridge tells Zen the news on Hope's line isn't good from the buyers. They assure him his designs are top-notch, but the figures aren't at what they need to be. Zen demurs that they've been doing everything they can to turn effects around. Hope and Carter arrive, and Steffi updates them on the discussion. Zen tells them that some of the buyers have started to bail. Steffi does and suppose they've a choice this time. I suppose we've to cut the backing or cut it fully. Hope begins to protest, but Carter interrupts. He'd like to move beyond this to a new mindset. They need to suppose outside the box to guarantee Forrester's future is bigger than they've ever pictured of if they'll hear him out. Ridge asks, "What are you suggesting?" Steffi tells Carter he always knows how she feels about rebooting the jewelry line and warns no quantum of grandstanding is going to paint Hope for the future in a better light. Carter says Ivy and the jewelry line is just one small part of his bigger plan. He's been planning this for months and is into vagrancy. Ridge shrugs. Go on. Carter wants to expand the company via combinations and accessions to pull them under a luxury marquee. Spices, spirits, leather goods, the sky is the limit. This is the occasion of a continuance, rather of saying not to Ivy, or cutting Hope's line. He wants them to suppose on a grand scale. They can do it moment. Steffi Forrester will bear some serious issues with Carter Walton during her coming discussion with Ridge. Forrester's Steffi formally suggested about some of those issues to Brooke Logan, who assumes this is really about Carter's support of Hope Logan and her line. Still, it's obviously bigger than that since Steffi didn't authorize of Carter's revived jewelry line pitch moreover. Once Steffi gives Ridge updates on Carter's rearmost move, she'll question his parlous plans and erratic jest. Steffi will have a lot of faith in Carter's input as a susurrus presently, so she'll open up to Ridge about all the drama. Meanwhile, Ivy Forrester will head to the Forrester Manse, where she'll share some disquieting news with Eric Forrester. Of course, Ivy's enterprises will be about Steffi and how she's letting particular grievances get in the way of doing what's stylish for Forrester Creations. Ivy will bring Eric up to speed on the whole situation and partake how agitated Elector Forrester was to help out with the jewelry line. Steffi would indeed look at Ivy and Elector's designs, so Ivy will complain and argue that Steffi is holding Forrester Creations back from a veritably profitable future. Eric is relatively fond of Ivy, so he could be tempted to intermediate, especially if she flats out asks him to. Ivy might deliver a sincere request and hope that Eric's willing to stamp Steffi's decision, which would give the jewelry line a real chance at success. Whatever the case, there's more hostility brewing between Carter and Steffi. Carter is gearing up for yet another pitch about his vision for Forrester and the luxury marquee he wants to produce, so Steffi isn't going to be happy about that in the coming occurrences. Carter and Steffi will have another fierce sweepstakes before the week winds down, so stick with us for further prognostications on all the added conflict.